Hello guys of United Rock Nations. We are an amazing company with George Harris of the Raven Age.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How you doing?
Very well, here in Paris.
Yeah.
For the promotion of the new album,
That's
the
it.
first
Exactly.
full-length album. It took 7 years to have this first full-length album.
Yeah.
Why it took so long?
Well, back in 2009 is when kind of like the idea of the Raven Age was born. Myself and Dan, the other guitar player, we sort of formed the band. But it wasn't. It was like from 2009. It was more like a writing process and coming up with ideas and artwork ideas and pictures and stuff like that. But we wrote a load of songs. But it wasn't until 2013 we did our first show as a full band.
Yes.
It took us a long time to get all the members and become a full unit.
Absolutely.
So it was that was a lot of that time was us two just writing and stuff and developing
And trying
the idea. Trying some styles and stuff like that. It wasn't until 2013 we actually did our first show, and then our EP came out the following year.
First EP, absolutely. And then now.
Yeah, I mean it's still been a long time to the first album, another sort of 2.5 years, but it's kind of we actually recorded it quite a while ago, before we went on tour with Maiden.
Absolutely.
And we were originally thinking of trying to release it before then, but that wasn't really an option because it wasn't done. And also the tour was a great tool to promote it, and we got a lot of profile from that, which led to all eyes on us and some label interest and stuff like that, which was the idea. But yeah, even after the tour, we still hadn't had like anything solid from a label or anything, so we're still going to go independently and we were going to release it in December.
Exactly.
And it wasn't until BMG sort of got on board, and we were really happy with what they were sort of offering us.
It's a great record company.
Yeah, and it's just the main thing for us was the fact that they actually trusted us to do what we do. They completely let us have control of the creative side of everything. We'd already created all the artwork, the packaging we wanted to do for the album, and like everything was kind of ready to go because we were going to do it independently anyway. And they got on board, and they're really supportive of it. They loved the whole ideas, the stories behind the album title and the band name in general, and all the stuff that we'd sort of said we want to do in the future. And they're getting excited about it as we are. So it's just a very good partnership.
Absolutely. And tell us about the name, the Raven Age. Why this name of band?
Yeah, it's actually derived from the Tower of London. So the Ravens were originally drawn to the Tower of London because of all the executions that were going on there. They were drawn to the blood.
Okay.
And they became like the guardians of the tower. So the legend is that if the Ravens were ever to leave the Tower of London, then the British Empire would fall.
Okay.
So that's the idea behind the Raven Age.
Okay. You talked before about the first EP. It went very well. 1 million streams, #1 on Amazon Hot New Release chart.
Yeah.
Did you expect such a success?
No, not in the slightest. No, we didn't know what was going to happen. We just kind of put it out there ourselves and just to see how it went. There wasn't really any promotion. There wasn't like a press campaign behind it or anything. So it's kind of like a word of mouth vibe which went around. We toured a little bit and we were received really well. A lot of people bought the EP at these shows. We're kind of overwhelmed we're playing like sort of 300, 400, 500 capacity venues, and like sort of we're selling like sort of 50 EPs per show for a support band. I thought that was really good, and we was
Absolutely.
like, wow, this is great. It's going really well. And then all of a sudden, one of the guys like popped an email over to us and was like, by the way, have you seen this? We're in the Amazon charts. And I was like, really? What, is that really us? So yeah, no, we were really overwhelmed with all the stats and stuff from the EP. It got received really well, and really excited about the album.
Absolutely, it's a great thing for you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about music. Tell us more about the writing process on the band. Who brings the main ideas? Is it all a collective way of writing songs? Tell me more about that.
It's actually all from myself and Dan are the only songwriters on the music so far. I mean, that's not something we have said. It's only us two writing the music. That's it. We've just kind of we started writing before the band was even formed, and we just kind of kept going like that. And obviously, I'm sure the other guys are going to get involved.
It's a natural collaboration between.
Exactly. Yeah, we just come up with a lot of stuff because we were we were kind of jamming a lot with each other, and we come up with a lot of ideas, and so we ended up writing all these songs, and I'm sure the other guys are going to get involved in the future. But it all kind of we're both guitarists, so it kind of all stemmed from a guitarist's perception, I guess, from writing songs. We'd always start with like a riff or something and sort of branch out from that, or like an intro type thing, and then it'd be, we'd get a demo down of get a song structured, and get a demo down, and then I'll just kind of put vocal melodies on top of it, and then whatever sort of vibe I'm thinking of lyrically would then go on after that.
Yes. When we listened to the album, we heard influences of Bullet for My Valentine.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right or not.
Yeah, I'd say that's right.
Tell me if it's good, and tell me your influences, of course.
I think that you're correct in saying we're influenced by Bullet for My Valentine. Definitely one of the bands who got us into sort of that heavy, sort of more hardcore, metalcore type music. I remember going to see them. The first time I saw them, I kind of really heard of them. I went to see Funeral for a Friend playing in Cambridge in England, and Bullet for My Valentine were supporting them. And I got there nice and early and then watched their set, and I was like blown away by it. And I went and bought their EP, and their album came out, and it was great. And they became one of my favourite bands. I think we definitely grew up in that sort of era where those type of bands were sort of on the rise, like Bullet and Killswitch Engage, Trivium, Avenged Sevenfold, like As I Lay Dying, Parkway Drive, these kind of metalcore type bands. So that was what we were into, and I think it kind of represents musically in our songs. Although we decided to go with a different style vocally, just because we
it's different. Yes.
Yeah, we were into a lot of melody-based music, and we kind of wanted to do something a bit different with our band.
Absolutely, your own signature, your own style.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about some songs of the album. We have selected 3 songs that we want to talk about.
Okay.
The first one is Death March.
Right.
We love a lot that song.
Cool.
It has a lot of different beats on the song. Tell me more about the writing process and the lyrics also of that song.
Yeah, the writing process for the Death March is one of the only couple of songs which I actually wrote totally by myself. I remember a lot of the tunes, riffs I come up with. I actually remember the day I come up with that riff. I can't remember when it was, but I was just in the studio, kind of thought, I better go and practice. So I went down and started doing some practice scales, and I kind of got a bit bored and started just mucking around, and I come up with the riff. And it just extended from then. I come up with the riff, and it made me inspired. And I was like, I like this actually. I'm going to carry on with it. Yes. And the rest of the song came from that, and I got a demo down. I didn't have any lead lines on it or anything like that, and I got a demo down, and then kind of just developed it until I was kind of really, really happy with it. The chorus was actually a lot shorter originally. It wasn't until I started writing the melodies which I realised I think it needs to extend here. It needs to go to this chord and blah blah blah. And then lyrically, I was reading an autobiography from guy called Dennis Avey, I believe his name was. He was a prisoner of war, and it was about his relationship with a Polish Jewish guy.
Okay.
In the camps. So he was working, so Dennis Avey was a soldier who'd been captured, and he was working in the camps, and the Jewish guy was just like a sort of a captive. And they talked to each other through the fence. So it was all these things happened. It was a crazy story, and I got the idea from the song from that story basically.
Yeah. Who wrote the lyrics of the band? Yourself? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, myself. Yeah,
everything, guitars, lyrics.
Well, it's me and Dan. Me and Dan write the guitars, and then I write the lyrics and the vocal melody stuff.
We also love The Merciful One.
Right.
It has a special vocal harmonies on that song.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that song also.
The Merciful One, believe it or not, is actually, when I first wrote that riff, I actually didn't like it. I was like, right, and I was like, I'm not sure, I think it's a bit too cheesy. And I showed it to Dan, and he was like, no, I like this riff, it's really cool. So I was like, okay. And I think we got Jai in and we started jamming it out. I was like, it actually sounds quite cool, us all playing it. So kind of went away and wrote basically the rest of the song. And the vocal style, I guess, was just, I don't know, it's just like again, we don't really think about things too much and think this needs to be like this must be this. It's just kind of whatever lends itself to the music. I just kind of get a demo down and whistle melodies over it and stuff. And yeah, I think Mike executed it quite well.
And the last one is The Dying Embers of Life.
Right.
It's a great ballad.
Thank you.
So tell me more also about that song.
That is the only other song which I wrote by myself. Yeah, I mean, my girlfriend bought me an acoustic guitar for my birthday a few years ago, and I was just messing around my room and I come up with the main thing like that. I was like, oh, that's quite cool. So let's develop on that. And it went into that sort of ballady chorus. Like, this isn't really like our normal stuff, but I like it. So I don't really want to just sort of get rid of it and go into another metal song.
Yes.
I think it sounds cool.
Absolutely.
And it'd be a bit different for the album dynamically. And yeah, lyrically it's about a prisoner from Alcatraz prison. I actually went there on a trip with my family and went over to the island and did a tour and stuff. And I bought a book and I was reading about the life of one of the inmates there, and it's kind of about that. Like it's almost like being on there. It's like you're being teased because you're sort of held captive, but you can see everything going on, like all the city lights and everything, and you're like a mile away in the sea with this, and you can't do anything about it. And it's kind of about that. And how he deals with it and stuff.
Fantastic. So let's talk about touring.
Right.
We know that you will tour with Anthrax.
Right.
But it's not really the same kind of music.
I guess not.
Is it a challenge for you to play in front of thrash fans? Because Anthrax fans is not really the same style of music that you play.
I guess so. We've not played in front of a thrash audience yet, so it's definitely going to be a challenge, and I guess we'll find out how well we're going to be received on Thursday when it starts.
Excellent.
But so far I think we're kind of hitting, I don't know, some sort of sweet spot where we can support bands who are really heavy and kind of get away with it, and we can also support bands who are quite soft, like rock bands, and we can still get away with being on the same bill. Like we're kind of that middle ground band, like I think. We're supported like say Mastodon, who are kind of a lot more progressive.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think their fans are sort of into that sort of more, I don't know, progressive style. And we've also supported like bands like Gojira, who are really heavy, like way heavier than we are, but we still get good receptions with them, like so far. So I don't know. I'm really excited about how
some pressure.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I mean, it's a big tour for Anthrax as well. They're playing Among the Living and stuff, and it's like I think the fans are going to be really excited and sort of fired up for a gig. So I think we're going to have a good time.
And we will be there in Paris to see you.
Cool.
With Anthrax. Thank you very much, George, for this interview.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Hope you to see you in France when you come back with Anthrax.
Yeah, see you 16th of March.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See you there.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Hi, this is George Harris from the Raven Age, and you're watching United Rock Nations.
You